Welcome. In this demo, I'll be talking about PlayFab's data platform and its powerful set of features that allow you, a game developer, to take control of your game's data. Such features include PlayStream events, telemetry, and analytics. In this demo, I'll be covering each of these topics and demoing subsets of these features. First, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Marco, and I've been working in PlayFab for the past few years, developing some of the features I'll be discussing and demoing today. With regards to how this presentation will work, first there will be an introduction in which I'll describe some of the terminology I mentioned in the previous section, such as PlayStream and telemetry. Next, I will demo a subset of the features I will be discussing. And finally, I'll give links to resources that you can use to learn more about the data platform and our features and APIs. First, an explanation of PlayStream and telemetry. PlayStream is our event-driven architecture, which allows for real-time actions to be taken based on the events emitted by a game. Actions can include sending emails and push notifications, banning players, custom logic you define, and much more. Telemetry is a streamlined ingestion of events for analytics, which supports larger event payloads than PlayStream. And furthermore, a couple of new features in our data platform. First, event sampling, which allows game developers to choose exactly the volume of events that they want landing into their title's data store. This can help with certain things such as cost reduction. And recently, we have completely re-architected our ingestion pipeline to easily support the scale of some of our most demanding titles, such as Forza Horizon 5. Now, I will head into the demo and demo some of the features that I previously discussed. Here, we find ourselves in the rules section of the automation section in the UI, where I'll be creating a rule that bans a player based on logins. As I previously mentioned, you can create and make actions off of real-time events coming into PlayStream. We'll call this action ban player on login, and we'll search for the player logged in event. Note that you can add conditions based on any member from the event's payload, but here we're going to do a simple rule that simply bans any player. And we'll set the ban duration for 3 hours, and we'll call this demo ban player, and we'll save. Now, with that action saved, we'll go ahead and create a player, which would also log it in. So here we are, a new player, create and log in this player. And also note that here we have the PlayStream monitor, which actually allows you to monitor events as they come in near real time. And so as you can see, we have this player logged in, which is the player we just created. As you can see, this is the player ID, the same player ID that we find in this tab for the player that was just created. And you can also note that we've had some actions executed. So for example, here we see that the player has been banned for 3 hours in almost real time. And so if I go back to the player, look at its bans, you can see the ban reason, demo ban player, which is from our action, and that the player has in fact been banned for 3 hours. Now, if you would like to query the events that your title has emitted or that PlayFab has emitted on your behalf, there are two options. You can use the Data Explorer Basic tab or the Data Explorer Advanced tab, both found in the data section in the Analyze portion of the UI. The Basic tab allows you to do simple things. For example, here we have a 14-day query, which basically just shows you event volume by event full name. If you would like to do something more advanced, we can head over to our Data Explorer Advanced section, where you can run more custom queries. So for example, here I'm querying all events for player logged in instances where the event is greater than 6 hours old. And so if I run this, or greater than 6 hours ago in the past. So if I run this, we can see a player logged in event for a player that I created a few minutes ago. And if I run this again, we may be able to see the events for the player that we just logged in. Not yet. However, these events usually arrive within a few minutes into the title data store. Now, finally, I previously mentioned event sampling. Event sampling is a feature which allows you to control the volume of events that arrive in your data store. Something like this could be helpful for reducing cost, as the amount that you pay for a data store is related to the amount of volume that's there. And so here, with percentages, you can control the volume of these events. So for example, we have character created, which is sampled at a rate of 100%. In this case, this means that the event is not removed from your data store and that it's completely ingested. And here we have an example of client focus change, which has a sampling rate of 50%, which means half of the events end up in the title data store and half do not. I would also like to note that this is not random. This is based on entity. And so if a batch of events is received and they contain multiple instances of the same entity or player, all those events will be sampled, not just at random. Now, all these features that we talked about today are intended to support you through the entire lifecycle of your game, from development when you need real-time feedback to test functionality, then to launch when you would like to track some key performance metrics that allow you to fine-tune, and finally, once your game is established, providing you with the ability to build advanced analytics on your data store. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch this demo and seeing what the PlayFab Data Platform can provide you as a game developer. To get started building with the PlayFab Data Platform, you can follow any of the links provided here to begin learning about our features and APIs. Thank you once again, and goodbye.